Hello, my friends, and thank you for being with me yet another month. Welcome to all newbies, and invite you to become a subscriber because then you get notified when I'm live, and it gives you opportunity to kind of interact and bring your energy on board. Now, just a few quickie introductions. I still have my annual Taroscopes on sale. You get one for only $10 and all of them for $20. And I will continue during the April to have my speed up promotion. I am working very hard to kind of catch up with this, but for you it works that instead of like 3-4 weeks, now you're upgrading automatically to a week. So regular reading is becoming rush, and rush reading, which was 7 days, is becoming urgent. So from 7 to 3, and the urgent reading is not more 3 days, it is like 24 hours. So it's kind of awesome. I am doing my best, if you do the order for urgent before 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, to actually do it the same day. But then again, sometimes I have to go and see my dad and I'm not at home. So but at that stage I'm going to send you an email saying the timeline for the urgent ones. Now guys, this is all there is. We still have Mercury Retrograde until the 15th, and then another 3 weeks for the shadow. So yay. How is your car going? How is your phone? Is it slow? Is your computer slow? What broke down? And I really hope it is not affecting you as much as it's affecting me. In any case, I'll be doing just regular tarot monthly, and then of course it's going to be revolving then to Lenormand and X spread shortly thereafter. Thank you guys very much, and please like, subscribe, and share this video, and you know that I love you. Hello Pisces, and welcome to your April 2018. So, what's up? Looks like to me, as you're the last sign, and unfortunately you're the last because it's Aries season, and last month it was first, you were first, and now you kind of end up at the end of the line. So, it's not only the Aries season, but it's also Mercury retrograde in Aries. And that's kind of like double whammy. So I can totally see splattered all over the place Mercury retrograde. So guys, what's going on? You have problems with computers, cars, communication. Let's start. The underlying card here is Ten of Sky, but it's also the Lovers underneath, and it's also Two of Earth, and it's also the Chariot. So I generally usually go to the next first major, just like to see all these influences, but check this out. Let me kind of zoom this in for you over here. Look at this kitty. The kitty is scared. The kitty feels cornered. This kitty doesn't have an eye anymore. The tail is broken. The sky is kind of like threatening. It looks like the kitty is going to lose one of his lives. This is definitely feeling, I'm overwhelmed with feelings coming my way about someone, maybe certain things. It's kind of weird because I'm seeing two levels of psychics. Maybe you're psychics, maybe it's a Freudian slip, but I'm seeing this whole bunch of decision making. Somebody did promise you to go forward with you, but the promise did not happen for some of you. The others are maybe kind of like recovering from some kind of situation and looking kind of like in the details of how to go about that. I see a lots of indecision, because I don't know if you know, the Lover's card is not so much about love, even though here this is what we would conclude. It is about a choice. Do I really want to be here, and under which conditions I want to be here? Both of these cards are air cards. Both of these cards are sort of like intellectual decision. I am doing this because it kind of suits me, right? You are a water sign. You make decisions based on a hunch and based on a feeling, and this is kind of like what guides you. So you would not clinically dissect and have a list, and because of this and this and this, I'm choosing this person. So this is kind of like unusual for you. So when you get in this situation, you're getting there because of overthinking. And I can absolutely see overthinking here, 2 of sky, and I can see overthinking here, 9 of sky. And it looks to me that maybe you have some kind of expectations. You definitely here, again, we are seeing facing a choice. In which direction do I go? It looks like that any available choices that you currently have are sort of like nightmarish. This card here, 9 of sky, very much unlike 9 of cups, where we have all good things, we have all bad things. I think these 2 cards could be like the most troublesome in the entire deck. Well, these 3. And hello, bingo, you got them all. It's not as bad as it looks. So let me explain why. This card is like the card of anxiety. You see, this is definitely a nightmare. This is kind of like, gosh, like, I mean, things are like, I mean, difficult. And you know, sometimes we make these things bigger than they are. We make this huge exaggeration in our own head, because this is how we are like basically wired, right? Like if you see a lion, you kind of like want to be self-protective, and this is kind of like fight or flight. I call this card also wash machine brain, because it kind of like shows that we are regurgitating all the things, everything that can go wrong in our head over and over and over, even if they don't happen. And the moral of the story is like they need to happen, they need to stop, because look at these 2 cards. This like 9 and 10 of swords. So this is, by the way, 8 of earth, or 8 of pentacles. And you have a 2 of swords, 9 of swords, 10 of swords, a tower. And you have a sea kitten, or page of cups. Then you have a knight of cups. You have 8 of cups. You have the devil reversed, 4 of wands, and king of wands. So this is kind of really interesting to me, right? Because it's coming to some kind of apex. Maybe you have been going through a situation that you maybe didn't pay too many details, or maybe you just like feel that somebody let you down, or even worse yet, dump you, because this is kind of the energy of some kind of rejection or not being met halfway, and kind of like feeling hurt about that, feeling kind of like a fish out of water. And because of this, this is kind of like tower that kind of shows up. The tower is always the case that is saying certain things just couldn't continue, and whatever this is, maybe this is like simply like you just got too nervous over the situation. Maybe you kind of couldn't tolerate the situation the way it was. Maybe the foundation that you had was not the proper foundation, because the tower in tarot always shows up when we are building dreams and we are not going in the right direction. So on some level, you know that for sure, right? Because this is coming in a central kind of like of your reading. And hi, Safi. Hey, Safi. You are breaking into this energy. See, I love this, because I think I'm starting to figure out that she's coming and showing up when energy is tensed, and then she comes in and she makes this energy kind of like be much, much softer. Right, Safi? You love Pisces? You love Pisces? How much? How much? How much? Okay, she's not talking to me today. So this is kind of like a tarot card. This talks about distress. This can talk about procrastination, because you got it reversed, right? This can talk about some kind of unwelcome changes, and it could be, mind you guys, like something has happened to you, to some of you, that things kind of like got tensed and shaky, right? This kind of represents some kind of misfortune, or kind of like something that you thought you could have avoided. This also could be that you are like, feeling some kind of guilt, or you want to push somebody in some kind of like guilt, right? This kind of like things developed over a period of time, and this is telling me about possibly self-inflicted injury. So be very careful about that, right? Maybe you feel dominated by someone, or you maybe feel that somebody made a choice for you because this is it, you hesitated and somebody pulled the trigger, or maybe it was just like too late to make any kind of decision that would make sense. So sort of like you go to a store and you really want, I don't know, let's go to, you want the dress. And so you're debating, do I want a red, do I want a white, do I want a black, and you put them back on a hanger, on the shelf. So go for a walk, you come back and all of them are gone, or just like one is left. So you don't have these options, sort of like that kind of thing that I'm seeing here. So maybe you feel powerless to fight back, and this is definitely, when it comes reversed, it's talking about that you need to concentrate on the future and on your ways to kind of like redress the balance of power. Currently, you kind of like really feel let down. You do feel betrayed. You do feel that you're in a situation that you're not deserving, right? And the worst part of this, that is like almost like that you're expecting the change for the worse, right? Maybe you're even being dramatic or melodramatic. Maybe you are kind of creating some kind of catastrophic reaction. Maybe, you know, you chip your nail and you start screaming. Kind of, there is like something that is off whenever the Tower kind of shows up, right? This reversed always says you are your own worst enemy, okay? The bad part is over. And it's pretty bad part. So I'm really sorry to say, sweet Pisces, because here you go. You are saying, you know what? Whatever. I know who I am. These are your emotions. This is a category of your emotions. You're getting this C, Tom. And good for you. I don't know how you do it, from going from this to this, but you are going from this to this. So you know what they say, God bless you for this, being able to roll with the punches. This is literally what this tells me. And you're saying, you know what, I'm not going to lose myself in the process, because sometimes the Tower reverse talks about unrealistic expectations and talks about sort of like refusing to see what everybody's telling you, right? And hence it's self-inflicted, right? Because if somebody tells you, if you drive like, I don't know, like 200, you're going to kind of like kill yourself. No. And then you do kill yourself. Sort of that kind of a thing. But here you're saying, you know what, I need to slow down. I need to kind of like stop and smell the roses. I need to kind of like have this enjoyment, and I need to have this like fun with my family. There is like still some kind of like call from the past, because look at this 8 of Cups here, and I have to zoom this for you because it's a different type of expression over here. There is a sense of somebody escaping and somebody walking away, and I don't know if you're seeing anything. You see this kind of kitty kind of like leaving, but it's almost like hard to tell if this is a kitty or something else. But this to me is the key, that shell. And I don't know which one of us did not really listen to that sound of the ocean and the sound of something that can pacify us. Maybe you expect to hear something from somebody, because I simply cannot interpret this card as kind of looking for something better. I'm simply interpreting this card as trusting yourself. Trusting that things are going to resolve. You're going back into the mode, which is your water mode here, that really works for you. And I really think this is a winning combination. I think this person that you really suffer, that's maybe there is expectation of this person to come back. For those of you that are really dating and single, I definitely would say that you need to address certain issues from the past, or you'll continue to meet unavailable people. Fire King is a superb guy when it's upright. This is like go, 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 action, possibly even drama. It's kind of like a thing that he kind of like is the guy you want to catch. He's like that actor. He is somebody you considered always sitting on a pedestal, and he is sitting on a pedestal. When he's reversed, he always forgets to tell you things that are really important, such as I am married, right? Or, you know, I am too engaged with work, I am workaholic, or I have somebody else on the side. And I think this is like, could have been a little bit of taste of this over here, even though I have to say that I see nothing that would indicate a third party. Well, the demon kind of like cat, the devil can do that, but we are going to get to that later. That should be the later in the month anyway. So whether you guys are having somebody who kind of hurt you, who kind of like made you promise, that kind of like start crashing down and cost you a whole bunch of disturbance and kind of like freak out situation, or you kind of came to realization that maybe you wanted something that just cannot be fulfilled, at least not with this person. Either or, it's going to be a month where you simply have to relax and be who you are, kind of like come out of this stage of overthinking and come in a stage of kind of like really being that sensing being, right? Because you guys are moving forward. Certain things will get resolved. So the worst is simply over. You're putting things to rest. Because the Four of Fire is talking about going to the next stage, enjoying some kind of like newfound stability. It's kind of realization that you do not depend on the others, that for your own happiness, realization that, hey, life is very short, we have to go in more directions than one, and you kind of like looking at this like crystal ball. It could be like your psychic kind of like abilities, or it could be simply you kind of engaging a psychic or a tarot reader or coach, or simply just getting a vision. To me, in this particular deck, not in the other decks, this always comes as, look at, first of all, this kitty here is still rolling over. Maybe you're going to be rolling, laughing at yourself, at others. But this is simply kind of like telling me about this like new light coming through in this particular deck, kind of like a vision, a hunch, sort of like a new perspective on a situation, and certainly moving forward. And these are hopes and fears, because you're really fearing that something is over. Maybe you had a quick breakup with someone. Maybe you fear it's over. Maybe you fear that somebody's juggling somebody else aside from you, and maybe somebody did juggle and you said, not me, kind of like I'm out of it, out of that, no way Jose, kind of a thing. Because sometimes the devil card can actually talk about the third party, but not necessarily about the third party that is actively engaged. This can talk about the third party that indirectly can also affect relationship almost severely, sort of like an ex-partner, or, you know, spouse who is just impossible, or ex-spouse who is impossible with child arrangements, etc., etc. So it's continuously kind of like putting your partner, you know, in some kind of imbalance. So this is also telling me, just like this, that you really really have to get out of that space where you are feeling like fish out of water. Because I can totally see it here. Like, I can totally see here that you're hyperventilating. Things are just like maybe happening way too fast. Because, like, think about it. The water is the slowest element and air is the fastest element. So you're operating in this fastest element, and like you're gasping for the air, right? And it's kind of like not working out. So of course things have to collapse. And actually collapsing will be the best thing that can happen to you, I have to tell you, because it's going to ground you to be who you are. So let me check this Tower over here. Why did Tower show up for the Pisces? I told you, it's going to be the gift for you. It's going to be, it's kind of weird. It's somebody's telling you rejection and issues will be a gift for you. Yes, because you were spinning, some of you were spinning out of proportion, or maybe thinking that things are much bigger and harder and stronger than they are. And it's just like simple as that, kind of like really maybe taking a deep bath, maybe kind of like getting together with your friends, and maybe simply kind of like walking away from the situation in a sense to kind of like have a little kind of buffer and isolation. I want to get another card for this Tower. Yeah, it could be a message. It could be, honestly, guys, that somebody will break up with you. I don't like to say this in my readings, but this could be the Tower moment. And why is this like 10 of Sky over here? Yeah, there is like some depression, and you're missing somebody. You're missing somebody. You're missing somebody not so much as a lover, but as a friend. It's definitely the energy of a loss over here. So what is upsetting Pisces here? 9 of Sky. What is upsetting Pisces? Yeah, the communication. Oh my gosh, you see? Communication from somebody. And it's letter and lover. Something is triggering you, because this to me is absolutely triggers. When I see Safi, when she sleeps and she kind of gets triggered, I'm always wondering what the heck can trigger her. She always lived in a shelter environment and never seen anything threatening. So it tells you how powerful is our mind. Maybe none of that would happen. Maybe this is all in your own head. Maybe you have to collapse your own values. Maybe you need to work on stabilizing, relaxation, and meditation, and simply kind of like dipping yourself in a bathtub and kind of like enjoying, because obviously you're getting there. So let me see this Fire King, who will be coming to your life. So if you're single, you might be getting somebody who might not be available. He will appear to be fun. So don't fall for somebody who, you know, is not the right one. But it looks like you just might do that. You might fall for somebody who is not right for you, who might be with somebody else. And you will hope that you will be the one chosen. So what can go wrong with this one? So let me see this Fire King. Oh boy, somebody, look at that. Somebody will tell you it's over with somebody, and it isn't. Good gosh, I'm getting more and more from clarification. There's actually more people included here, which I didn't see initially. So let me see this Demon Cat as well. Demon Cat. Demon Cat. Yeah, look at that. Married guy. Somebody, or married woman, somebody is married in a situation. There is a very strong relationship here that cannot be broken. See, that was like my hunch. Gosh, I cannot speak not only English, nothing. So Pisces, I am really trying to summarize this, because now I'm getting lots of information. So it looks like that some of you have either inclination or relationship with somebody who is taking advantage of your good heart. And to some extent you know that, because it looks like that you are aware of this third party. You are aware of the choice that you need to make. But given that you're so emotional, you're almost like obsessing about the situation and how to deal with this. And you do know the right from wrong. You do know, but you simply are frozen in how to choose this. So what do? You say, you know what? When life hand me lemons, I make a lemonade. And then you're saying, you know what? As well, screw it. Let me get a glass of wine. Let me go for a walk. Let me call a friend, and let's be playful. Let's be romantic. This also could mean writing a poetry, kind of like thinking about the past, watching The Notebook, stuff like that. And this is going to reset that volume on you that is going really inside of your head on a full blast. And you're going to get realization that maybe, you know, it's not worth it to be temporarily happy. But then again, you're going to probably, some of you will simply say, this is not good for me, because the demon card is also a card of codependency, and realizing that sometimes engaging ourselves in a situation with somebody who seems to be interesting, but you already know, kind of like, you shouldn't be doing this. There is a gut feeling. So some of you will just stay away from it, but the others will go for it. The others will go for this fellow showing up and get disappointed. So it's going to be interesting. It's also a possibility of the ex-partners coming back on the scene, and maybe this Mercury retrograde, because we just got out of the Pisces things, which kind of like makes everything confusing. But I think what I'm seeing over here is like, you certainly want and will go forward, but this also could be a sign of that you're feeling stronger, because you're not feeling irritable, you're not feeling let down anymore. But just be careful. That's all I'm saying. I just really don't want you to end up in tears again, because I have seen some tears in the past. So my dear Pisces, this might not be you whatsoever, because it's a general energy that I'm getting. And to get your energy, please contact me for the private reading, www.cattarot.ca, and I would really appreciate to, like, I mean, hear your comments and see what you think about it, and if there is this third party and what the heck is going on here in the situation. And lastly, you know that I love you, and I want to give you a big hug. This is going to be an interesting situation. Air signs would just like never handle it this way, so it's going to be really interesting to hear from you. And please subscribe, like, and share, so you can find out when I'm live online. And until the next time, I love you guys. Have a wonderful April.